Get it, loser. Take over the Falklands. In 1989, Mazda came out with the Miata, which is a lightweight, driver-focused, rear-wheel drive manual sports car that disrupted the sports car market. But what if I told you 20 years earlier, the British did the exact same thing with a lightweight, rear-wheel drive manual sports car, but it's even better. This particular example is a 1969 Triumph TR6, and you get 2 more cylinders, about the same horsepower, more torque, and more electrical problems, but let's not mention that right now. Let's focus on the good things. Under the bonnet, here we have our 2.5 liter inline 6, which makes about 105 horsepower in the US spec and about 140 foot-pounds of torque, mated to a 4-speed manual transmission with electric overdrive. The Triumph TR6 is the last traditional British roadster, and it used a formula that worked, as evidenced by being so closely matched to the Mazda Miata 2 decades later. Sitting in the Triumph TR6, we have a very Spartan interior, but it is minimalistic in a good way. We have a very nice wooden dash with all the gauges that you need and none you don't want, and everything in here is mechanical that you touch. Manual steering, manual transmission, manual windows, manual door latches. This isn't a Tesla, so why do you need that? Very simplistic, not a whole lot to go wrong, which is good because Lucas Prince of Darkness might strike at any time. All this combined gives you a raw and unfiltered driving experience. It's just you in the car. Well, it's December in New Hampshire, so I can't think of anything better to do than to take this out on a rip with the top down. Well, it's a beautiful day to go out on a little cruise. Nothing else better to do on this nice December New Hampshire day than go to the beach. What do you say, David? I think it's perfect weather. It's a nice crisp 32 degrees outside. Real feel is about 25. Recently had a small snowfall, so roads are lightly salted. Still have some snow on the ground. Perfect weather for a cruise. I mean, I can't think of anything better to do than to break in this TR6 and go into the beach with the top down, right? Yeah. This is the first real drive we're doing with this. We've done a couple shakedowns. We're gonna finally put some miles on this, go to the beach, and have a good time, see how it does. Yeah, and hopefully by the end of this video, it doesn't end up on a trailer. We just had to make sure to avoid highways, and we're all set to enjoy some frozen New England back roads. This total drive is under 100 miles round trip, which in any normal car is nothing, but for an unproven classic British roadster that David just bought, it really is a risk. And as we started driving it, we realized it wasn't that good at actually being a car. We did compare this to the Mazda MX-5, but I think the MX-5 is just going to be better in every single way. I will say this car does not handle great. It does not like going over bumps very well. Kind of upsets it. Kind of noticing this is probably not the stock exhaust, right? Yeah, definitely not the stock exhaust, but this does sound sick when you're in it. Cruising around, it does tend to drone a lot. So right now I'm just kind of like 40 miles an hour at 2,000 RPM. But if we're at 2,500 RPM, then this thing just drones so bad. Just the fumes and the noise can be a little brutal. It's kind of uncomfortable in here. Yeah, but still having fun. Still having fun. Yep. Car is not broken down yet. Yeah. All the gauges are reading okay. One thing is we don't know how anything in this car works. Obviously Lucas Prince of Darkness has struck multiple owners, and there's a bunch of switches in here and we're not even sure what they do. These are definitely not stock switches as well. And they don't seem to do anything. Yeah. It is kind of funny as well when we're like looking at the car. It's practically a chameleon. There's been so many colors in its lifetime. It's been yellow, it's currently black, there's green, there's red. I think it was originally like a cream color, I think. Yeah, it was like a cream yellow. We'll post up the color code here. Yeah. But It's lived a rough life, but it's still kicking. It's just a testament to the build quality of these old British cars, right? Yeah. See, I think the thing is just that these things never came complete from the factory. So they just been constantly worked on and refined over time through the owners.
Yeah, exactly.
Eventually, after enough complaining and second guessing our decisions, we finally found ourselves on the seacoast, where the weather cleared and opened up to nice, warm, sunny skies. And from here, the TR6 was truly in its element, and it clicked. Objectively, the TR6 is an awful car. It's too loud with strange handling characteristics, suffers from poor build quality, all combined with terrible reliability. But good thing that today, the TR6 is not a car. It is punk rock that you can drive. It is bold, it's brash, it's anti-establishment, and rebels against the comfort and safety bubble that is suffocating today. It comes from a time when you could choose to live dangerously. Seatbelts were optional, lawn darts were harmless fun, and cigarettes were healthy, and flaunts it in the face of normal drivers. Despite owning cars that are better at every objective metric, the TR6 stretched a smile across our faces even in the brutal cold. Every time you get in, pull the choke, and cough it to life, it says, "I'm a Triumph and I'm here to party."
So far, the trip was about 45 minutes long, and I survived, and the car survived. There's no tow truck around us. Pretty chilly outside, even windier by the ocean. But yeah, overall this car is actually pretty fun to drive. And come springtime, when the weather is a little bit nicer, I think this thing's going to be out on the road a lot more. In the beginning of this video, we shouted out that Mazda MX-5 as a direct competitor to this TR6. So that begs the question, should you actually buy a TR6 instead of Miata? I paid only $2,800 for this TR6, and to find a clean, running, driving example of a MX-5, I think I would have to pay a little bit more than that. And especially now, Miatas are very popular. It's going to be kind of tough to find for a good price. But should you buy one of these? Depends. If you wanted something that's actually reliable, works, and could be a daily, just get the Miata. But if you wanted something unique that also kind of scratches that itch of a two-door sports car, then you might as well get something a little bit different, something that turns heads, has a lot of character to it, and I just want to say, like, this thing broke necks driving down the highway or just driving around town. If you like that attention, this is great. If you don't like the attention and you want to be a little incognito, then don't. We have come up with a short list of problems that this car has in our 75-mile shakedown run. Bear in mind, I just kind of trusted the seller on what he said and what he told me, which was car runs and drives. So I trusted him, we took it out, and we found some small little problems. Stuff like the suspension is a little worn out, a lot of bushings are worn out. Half the controls in the cabin don't work, which also sucks because there's only like 6 buttons in there. Exhaust drones a lot of oil leaks. There's a lot of maintenance that needs to be done, and some restoration work needs to be done on this. If you want to catch more of that in like a future episode, we can go ahead, leave a comment down below, hit the subscribe button, and we'll probably get around to it. Cut.